From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. RCMP in Tumbler Ridge, BC say they don't know where the primary gun used in this week's mass shooting came from. Deputy Commissioner Dwayne McDonald says the shooter used an unregistered shotgun to kill her mother and brother at their home before using different firearms at the school.
The main firearm, believed to be the one that caused the most significant damage, is origins unknown. It's never been in previous RCMP controlled, never been seized by us. We're trying to determine how our suspect got that firearm, and that investigation is continuing.
Mounties say efforts continue to identify the owners and sources of all other firearms. The Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the main federal party leaders are converging tonight on Tumbler Ridge, BC, for a vigil to honor the 8 shooting victims. More than 24 people were injured in the gunfire, including 2 who were airlifted to hospital. The Supreme Court of Canada has invalidated a Liberal candidate's one-vote victory in a Montreal area riding last spring. The Terrebonne riding's Bloc candidate launched a court challenge after a mail-in vote for her was never counted. The ballot had been returned because of an error on the address label provided by Elections Canada. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will lead a large trade delegation next week to Mexico. He's set to play a key role in the upcoming review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade, but U.S. President Donald Trump has called the trade agreement irrelevant and says it may have served its purpose. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has cancelled his plans to pull Crown Royal whiskey from his province's liquor store shelves. The boycott was over the closure of a Crown Royal bottling plant near Windsor, Ontario, but the company is now spending $23 million in the province. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says he's glad the boycott's off.
This is a good day for workers in Gimli and for Canadian jobs generally. Premier Ford is always standing up for people in his province. I'm always standing up for people in mine, and it's nice to see that we could find a path forward together here.
Diageo has a distillery in Gimli, Manitoba, and Kinew had called on Ford to keep Crown Royal on Ontario liquor store shelves as a way to support Canadian jobs. Toys R Us Canada will keep the hundreds of companies it owes money to at bay for a little longer.
An Ontario Superior Court judge says an order extending the company's creditor protection until May will soon be approved. Creditor protection temporarily shields an insolvent company from having to pay those it owes money to while it figures out its next steps. When Toys R Us filed for creditor protection at the start of the month, it said it owes at least $120 million to its vendors and substantial amounts to landlords. Michelle Zedekian, The Canadian Press, Toronto.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, Team Brad Jacobs had a good day at the Milan Cortina Games, winning both of its matches, including a late 8-6 win over defending men's curling gold medalist Sweden. The Canadian team defeated the United States 6-3 earlier in the day. The Jacobs rink is now 3-0 heading into Saturday's matchup with Switzerland. The American women's curling team says they're surprised to learn their victory over the Canadian side was the first such victory by an American squad over Canada at the Olympics. Canadian Rachel Homan's squad now sits at 1-1, while the U.S. is 2-1. An encouraging sign for Canada's Olympic women's hockey team. Captain Marie-Philippe Poulin has resumed practicing after missing Canada's final 2 preliminary games with a lower body injury. Poulin could play tomorrow when Canada faces Germany in quarterfinal action. And in tennis, Victoria Mboko is into the final of the Qatar Open. The 19-year-old won her semifinal match against Latvia's Elena Ostapenko in straight sets. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.